Hi, welcome to this lesson in Adobe After Effects. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to create a composition in After Effects and how to arrange layers in the timeline. So in our project panel, we've already imported a video file, an audio file, and a title that was created in Photoshop. Now to create a composition in After Effects, we need to drag each of these assets down into our timeline. So you want to click on our video file, our audio file, and our title. Now, if you were creating a project of your own and you imported a Photoshop file, you would see that there's another folder here. You do not want to drag that into your timeline. Just leave that there and drag just the 3 files. Click and drag them down into the timeline area. And this will open the new composition from selection box. I want you to notice the Use Dimensions From area. Now we do want to use the dimensions of our composition to match the video that we have. Now if you were importing something with several different types of video and other elements, you would want to choose which one you want to match the dimensions to. In this case, all of our dimensions are going to be matched to just this video file of trees. So we can click OK. Now we see that the trees, the video file, has appeared in our composition panel. And down here in the timeline, we have 3 layers. We have our video file, we have our music file, and we have our title. Each of these layers can be adjusted separately. One thing you should note when you're creating a project, or excuse me, when you're creating a composition in After Effects, the composition can have as many layers as you'd like. You can even import another composition and put it into your composition here. That's called nesting, when one composition is nested within another. And you can use still images, video, anything you want really. But for now, we just have these 3 layers. And you notice that each of the layers is a separate length. The video file is only about 13 seconds. The title is about 30 seconds, and the music goes on for over 2 minutes. So that's not going to work too well for us. We want all of these to be the same duration. So to do that, across the top of your screen, you'll see a banner. I don't know if it shows up in my screen share, but you'll see it on your computer. So you want to click Composition, then Composition Settings. And this will bring up the Composition Settings box. You see down here where it says duration, they base the duration on the longest file, which is the music file, so it's over 2 minutes. We, however, want to base the duration of our composition on the video file. So we're going to change this to 13.18 seconds because that's the duration of the video. Now, if you recall, in the last lesson, we created a project and we named it Trees. But now we're creating a composition, which is going to have a separate title. And After Effects automatically based the title on the video file that we imported and used for our settings. So we can change that title here and we can name our composition just Trees. We can get rid of those numbers. So now we have a composition. We've created a composition called Trees that is 13.18 seconds in duration. We can click OK. So now when you look down on the timeline, we see each of these are the same length. And that's what we want. Another thing you can do, and you will do when you're working on projects that have a lot of different layers, you want to make sure they're in the right order. Because in the next lesson, we're going to modify some of these layers. And for it to play properly and in the order we want, etc., we want these layers to be in a specific order. So if you recall, I mentioned previously in another lesson that whatever is on top of this list of layers is going to be what's in front on our screen. So we want to click and drag the title up to the top of this list of layers. And now we can see that the title is in the front of the video. So we want our video to be second and the music last. So basically, we can now just save this because we've created a composition. And in the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to modify these layers, and we'll play around with some special effects. We'll get into that more in the second chapter, but this will get you acquainted with it. So I appreciate you watching. I hope you'll stay tuned for the next lesson.